Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
Welcome back, everybody. We're happy to be here. Happy to be here with you. We got a heck of an episode to get to today. Before we get into that, Matt, is there anything we need to talk about? Anything we wanted to talk about?
I feel like there's a lot. It's been 2 weeks since we recorded.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This past week was, I don't know what it's called, like Games Fest or something. Like all the different video games companies released like info and trailers on their new games.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. There's definitely some good ones, some that I'm looking forward to. A lot of kind of smaller studios I'm looking at right
Mm.
now. I was like, okay, so the one I think the big one right now that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if it's a smaller studio, but Fable. There's a new game in the Fable franchise coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks pretty incredible.
I
It
only saw
looks,
I only saw the trailer because they released like that 30-minute demo, and I'm like, I don't have time for this, but yeah, yeah.
dude,
That trailer
that
looked rad.
the trailer's rad, but you need to watch the demo. Like I don't know when you're
Mm.
cooking or something, because like the amount of detail they get into and like how it's almost feels like a sim game, like you're
Mm.
living and breathing in this world,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like all your decisions affect all the NPCs and all the people around you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Hmm.
I'm like, this is incredible. So
Interesting.
looking forward to that. I'm looking for I think it's called Clockwork Revolution,
Okay.
like a steampunk game coming out, Xbox exclusive,
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
which I will say 2026 Xbox, they're turning things around, and I'm really excited because it's been a
Yeah.
long time since I've been excited for Xbox as a company. So I'm like,
Hmm.
huh. So yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff coming out, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
know huge, not necessarily huge on my list, but I know a lot of people were excited. Nintendo when they started doing their announcements. We get a new
Mhm.
Star Fox game, like that's fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, um, of course, we saw there was a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Or no, I'm sorry, not Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 4.
Four? There's a what?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see
You
this.
didn't see that trailer?
No.
Yeah, dude. It's interesting because it's it doesn't look like any of the other Kingdom Hearts games before. Um, to a point where I'm like, I almost didn't recognize it if it weren't for Sora's big shoes and Goofy and Donald show up for like a hot second. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Go
guess
watch it after this.
I'm a horrible fan then.
And you wanted to make the movie.
Oh
Oh,
man, that was back in the
wow.
day. Yeah. So yeah.
But
So I remember they showed footage of this years ago, like in the
yeah,
realistic modern day type setting, and I'm
yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
crap. But
And that's
yeah,
a
I'm looking at the guy in the hood. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Kingdom Hearts for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, oh, and then I know huge announcement, like everybody's freaking out, because Nintendo announced that they're remaking Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, which is
Oh
like
wow.
like you talk to a Zelda fan, and outside of like maybe Breath of the
Hmm.
Wild, like that's usually people's go-to answer for like their favorite Zelda game.
Well, I'm kind of
Um,
wondering, like, is this going to be a Breath of the Wild style game? Like,
it might be, I
hmm.
don't know. And I'll never know because it's probably exclusive for the Switch 2, which is like $2,000. Like,
Dude,
no, I got rent to pay, man. Come on.
yeah, man, like they're talking about the next wave of consoles,
Hmm.
um, especially with everything politically right now affecting our country and imports, exports, and just
Hmm.
computer chips. Like everything is skyrocketing, and they're saying that well, they're not saying, but the big rumor is that the new consoles, which probably are still like another 2 years off,
Mm-hmm.
2 years away. But the big kind of rumor and thinking is that they're going to be easily over $1,000.
No, absolutely not. I'm
And
not doing that.
and and I agree, but what makes this even worse, in my opinion, it makes this worse. The thinking that everyone is kind of running with right now is that the game companies are going to have like finance plans. So essentially, if you want the PS6, we'll ship it to you and you just pay 29.99 a month for X amount of years. And I'm
You know,
like,
I found a
oh
job
my
for us then, bro.
God.
I found a job for us. You and I are gonna be PlayStation repo men. And we're gonna
Oh
go to people's
yeah.
houses and we're gonna bang on their doors and we're gonna take their PlayStation away when
Well, yeah, that's kind of what the
they
thing
haven't
is.
paid for it.
So does that mean like once you pay it off, like it's yours? Or are you renting this system? Like what
Hmm.
exactly are the specifics here?
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people are like comparing it to credit cards. Like, what happens if you don't meet your payments? Or what happens if you're only paying the minimum? Like,
Hmm.
is there going to be like with cars, where like, or credit cards, like, hey, you don't have to pay interest for like 12 months or something like that.
Hmm.
So it's like, oh my God, like that's where we're at now, people. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God. So, and they're also saying like typically when a console releases within 2 to 3 years, you can get it on sale.
Hmm.
Not anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's more expensive now than it was when it came out. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, man.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
So,
Like even I think we were looking at getting a second controller for our PlayStation.
mhm.
And those are easily like, 60, $70. I'm like,
Yeah, they
why?
cost as much as a game. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
dude,
why?
yeah.
This is insane.
So a lot of the companies, the studios, there's a lot of eye on politics right now, and especially since we're in an election year,
Hmm.
because they I feel like the way things are kind of going, like they're making different plans. You know, their
Yeah.
plan is one, they're going to see what this election season looks like, and then what's it going to look like in another 2 years. Are they going to have to prepare for another 2 years of, a Republican administration, or are they going to have to prepare for another 7 years? You know,
Mm.
and then even then, let's say we get another Republican president, how on board with the current administration's policies are they going to be?
Yeah.
Because all of that is going to affect the prices of this technology, you
Yeah.
know? But they're also smart. These companies and these people, well, for the most part, they're smart. They know that people can't afford $1,000 consoles, you
Hmm.
know? And that's being generous. If you look at the components in a lot of these systems, $1,000 is being generous. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
saying like this is going to be up there. So that's why they're talking, or the rumor is there's going to be finance plans and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but also, I feel like, man, once you introduce that, there's so many ways to just what's the word? Like take advantage, I guess, of people. Like
Mm.
kind of like the credit card companies do. Like they're
Yeah.
all. I'm not going to call them scams because if you know what you're doing, they can really pay off for you. And some cards are better than others.
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
definitely someone who maximizes the benefits of my credit cards
Hmm.
while giving them absolutely not a single cent more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
No,
like
for
I
real.
knock on wood, I feel like I'm comfortable in that position, but I know a lot of people
Yeah.
aren't in that position. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, man. It's nuts.
Yeah.
But that's video game news. I feel like there's other stuff I wanted to bring up video games wise, but it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I did start playing a new game
Ooh.
called Solar Punk.
Ooh.
It's just a cozy solar punk simulator. You're living
I
on an
love that.
island you're living on an island, a floating island, and you have to make energy and grow crops, and then eventually you get to make like a little airship, and you get to fly to other islands to get resources. I'm like,
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
is the perfect world. I love this. And it's multiplayer, so you can play with friends. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Right.
So, and a very, very chill. I'm playing on easy mode because, I'm just like, I enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, also speaking of video games, I beat Dispatch over the weekend. Or
Yeah. So
or like a week ago, I think.
what were
Yeah.
your thoughts on Dispatch?
Pretty good. Pretty
Pretty
good.
damn good.
Yeah.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah, I loved it. I have I think I think my one major beef with it is that the hacking system is so lame.
I wish there was a way to skip that because I didn't enjoy any of the hacking mini games, and they're
Yeah.
important. Like you have to beat them to
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
So,
Also, I didn't realize that there was like a toggle on like in the settings. It's not in the initial setup of the game, like any of the like filters for like nudity or language or anything.
mhm.
It's in the settings on like the main menu, um, where you can like turn off or you can turn on like infinite hacking mode essentially. So like you know how
Oh, okay.
sometimes it's like, oh, you only have like three chances to do this. It's like,
Hmm.
no, because I'm bad at puzzles. I'm bad at
Mm,
puzzles, and I'm bad at puzzles when I'm being timed. So I'm like,
yeah,
no, absolutely not. I can't do that. So I turned it
yeah.
off, and I'm like, okay, good. Now
So,
at
so
my leisure, I can
listeners,
do that.
if you're in the same boat, before you play Dispatch, go to settings and look for the hacking toggle. Try and put infinite lives. Because yeah, I agree with that. Also, like Dispatch really, it really walks that line between video game and interactive movie.
Hmm.
Because some of those episodes, like you get to the end, basically like Telltale, you get to the end and it tells you your different choices you made. And there was like some episodes where you only had to make like one or two choices out of the
Yeah,
whole episode. And I was
yeah.
like, oh crap, that was
Which,
just a movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because then I felt like that like very last episode was so choice heavy
Hmm.
that I got an ending that I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
And then like later on, as I'm like seeing, like, oh, you and whatever percentage of people got this ending,
Hmm.
or did this, or didn't do this, and I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, that makes a lot more sense why this character isn't in my end scene at all. So I'm
Mm.
like, oh, that's fascinating.
We're gonna have to discuss more off pod so we don't give any spoilers, but because
Yeah,
I'm curious to know like what choices you made.
yeah.
But the cool thing about it too is like there's so many choices that affect the storyline and the different elements of the story. Um, First time I played it all the way through, and then second playthrough, I turned like there's an option saying like you can turn the game off almost. So like it basically just turns into interactive. So it's just dialogue
Oh,
choices.
yeah, yeah.
And I kind of prefer that now because like yeah, I've done the swipe this way to block. Okay, press X to punch. I'm like that's fun the first route. After that, I'm just like okay, I'm just gonna watch. I'll make the dialogue choices.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think, dude, I know there's video game awards and stuff. Dispatch. I don't know if it was nominated for Game of the Year or anything like that. It should have at
Hmm.
least been nominated. But the episode where they have the bar fight to
Mm.
me is
Yeah.
like the most cinematic video game experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
one, because like this is basically watching an interactive movie, but like all of your choices affects the cohesion of you and your team, and it all comes to play for better or worse in that scene.
Hmm.
And then the fact that that whole fight scene is like montaged through the conversation of everyone just hanging out like at the taco, it's basically Taco Bell, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
uh and because I was disappointed, I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna get a fight scene, and then you just see them hanging out at Taco Bell, but mid conversation it keeps cutting to the fight, and I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, this is the cool. Like, if this were a movie, this would be cool.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's a video game and you still get to make choices and story choices throughout that montage, I'm like, this is so fun, dude. And then
Yeah.
those choices in that episode really sets up the second half of the game. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so rad.
Yeah.
So, dude, I love Dispatch, and yeah, yeah. I like playing all the different options. I've only beat it once. I'm still like on my second playthrough.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah, just trying to see what the different options are.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but speaking of multiple playthroughs and different options, almost as if my second run of Dispatch, things would be different.
Huh.
Hmm.
Interesting. And interesting that you bring that up because today our episode is about the 2024 movie Things Will Be Different.
Thank God, because I could not remember the title of this movie. I must have texted you like 3 times over the past week. Like, what's this movie called? What's this movie? And the funny thing is, it was on my list.
Mm.
But the second I found out we're it was on yours and we were watching it next, I erased it from my list and replaced it. So
Oh,
going
yeah,
back,
yeah.
I couldn't find out. I couldn't find what this movie was called. So I'm like, oh, Sam's gonna get so annoyed. So I just scrolled through our text message like for days, and I'm like, oh, there it is. Things will be different. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
yeah.
You could have just asked.
For the fifth time.
Yeah.
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 Well, that happens.
So,
Um, hey man, this movie deals with infinite number of times. So,
mhm.
who
Does
knows?
it though? Does it?
Well, I guess we'll get into that. So yeah, this things
Yeah.
will be different from 2024, written and directed by Michael Felker,
Okay.
who has also been the editor for a number of movies from his producing partners on this movie. That is the writing and directing duo of. Hang on, and I thought I had it. I thought I had it. The writing and directing duo Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who have directed things like The Endless, Something in the Dirt. Actually, I think. Oh, and Spring. I think that was the first time they collaborated on a feature together. Um, so yeah, he's been their editor for a while, and this is his first. This is his feature debut.
Hmm.
I will say right now, for anybody listening, if you haven't watched this movie and you want to watch this movie, stop listening to this episode and go watch it now, and then come back and listen to our episode because we are going to get into some pretty heavy spoiler territories, probably right out of the gate.
Hmm.
So this is your official warning now.
Hmm.
So Matt, tell me, how'd you feel about the movie?
Man, I'm nervous about this one, everyone, because I don't know what Sam's feelings or thoughts are on
Uh
this
oh.
one.
Uh oh.
I'm pretty torn on this one, like right down the middle. Uh,
I
I
I have some grievances as well.
Okay, okay, whew. Okay. I
Yeah.
feel like we opened the floodgates. I
What? You didn't absolutely
absolutely,
love it?
I
What?
absolutely love the first 2 acts of this movie.
Yeah.
And this is becoming a recurring thing the more weird sci-fi we watch. It
Mm-hmm.
completely falls apart in the third act.
Mm.
Um, and even the third act does something like I've mentioned before. I love it when you hit the climax and then there's more.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it's not exactly what they do here, but it's almost like it seems like they hit the climax
Mm-hmm.
and then not really. I was like, oh, okay, you're actually building to like an even bigger climax. But it's kind of similar. Like once you think the movie's over, like you still have like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that worked and didn't work to different degrees. But it I didn't dislike it as much as the wailing, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Uh
yeah.
because the
No, for
wailing,
sure.
the ending, the third act and the ending totally ruined the movie for me. Uh the things that my issues with this movie are kind of throughout. It's not so much just the ending, but at the same time, this is way better than Parallels.
It honestly, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's no coherence. So we're building like our we're building our ranking list. You know what I mean?
I thought about that too as like a potential like episode for like our like end of year.
Yeah,
Like we rank all the movies that we've watched so
yeah.
far. Um,
Oof, that'll be
yeah.
tough. Like I do want to do like our top five maybe of the year.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
10.
I could do
It
that
maybe
easily.
10. It
Yeah.
depends, but I feel like the less we do, the more we can talk about them.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. I think of Top Gear when they would do like the celebrity laps of the car,
Hmm.
and then they would just like throw their time up on the board, and they would
Oh.
move them around. I was like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, okay, not as good as Coherence, but Coherence is like up there for me,
That's
you
true.
know.
That's true.
But this is
But
also
then
way better than Parallels in the Wailing. So,
but then how does this compare to Congo?
oh God, low. See, the question is, how does Coherence compare to Congo?
It's not even in the same league.
Oof, oof.
Yeah,
I
no.
know.
Congo
I'm sorry.
blows coherence out of the
Congo
water.
is 5 stars, but this is I it's this movie is written and directed by Michael Felker. I
Yes.
feel like a lot of the strengths of this movie was the directing and
Hmm.
execution of his vision. The weaknesses of this movie or the script.
Yeah.
Absolutely the script. Uh
Yeah. Which is
go
interesting.
for it. Please cut me off. Go.
So, so for all of our movies, I usually try and do some sort of research on them before we record.
Mhm.
Usually all I have to do is go scroll through the trivia on IMDb and I'm like, oh, there's enough talking points here. You know, we
Yeah.
can like I can pull from a bunch of stuff. There's almost nothing in the trivia. So I had to go listen to interviews with Michael Felker and then with our leads Adam David Thompson and Riley Dandy.
Mhm.
Uh this was huge at South by Southwest when it premiered 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, I was just watching all of their interviews from the circuit. And it is interesting. So Felker has admitted that he spent a lot of time writing the movie. He left a lot of um Joseph and Sydney's backstory up to them, you know,
Mm.
so that they like what like so it wasn't this thing where it's like he had this grand vision of how their whole backstory was and everything that they did. It was like, no, he wrote the scenes and then whatever they worked on collectively
Mm.
they added to the scene, you know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, like that is very fascinating. And you know, he definitely sounds like a filmmaker who is very collaborative with people, which is how I believe Benson and Moorhead are also on their films as
Mm.
well. Their films are kind of have the same sort of feel, you know. They do feel very like DIY punk, you know, very indie. Um there was something else that I wanted to talk about. I think the problem here is you're absolutely right. It does fall in the script. The problem is that Felker made the movie, wrote the movie with the intent of there being questions at the end that leave everything open to interpretation or things up to
Mm.
interpretation. He wanted there to be discussion about the events of the movie. He has said that there are treatments for both a sequel and a prequel.
Mm.
And I think that's where the problem is because crazy thing, I've seen this movie twice now. I
Mhm.
watched it, went to go do all the interviews, like find out everything I could, and then I immediately queued it up and watched it again.
Mhm.
Because I was like, I like maybe I missed something. Like maybe there are more clues that I can suss out and parse out. And I think first time around, it is very much like, oh wow, like this is cool, like this is rad. I have no idea where this is going. Kind of already know that we're dealing with some sort of time loop, some sort of thing. So I'm already trying to pick up on the clues. I'm like, yep, that's gonna be a clue later. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a clue later.
Hmm.
Watching it the second time, I know that like I'm already going in knowing what I know, still doing the same thing, but thinking in terms of like the central story and then whatever other like mysteries are popping up in it, a lot of it is very underwritten, and I think that's my issue. It like it almost feels like a J.J. Abrams thing where it's like there's a mystery box. Well, what's inside of it? We don't know. That's the beauty of it. It's
Hmm.
like no, you kind of need to know, and you kind of need to let everybody else know that there is something more. But like there still needs to like it's a give and take thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, the whole concept with the mystery box, it works if you're really, depending on the project and if you're really good at the writing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but the issue, like the thing about the mystery box is your story is about not knowing what's in it,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And so you can kind of get away as a writer without knowing what's in it because that's kind of what the story's about. This, on the other hand, this is actually about what's in the mystery box.
Hmm.
This is a mystery, and that's when I feel like you run into the trouble because it's like, does the writer know? Does he
Yeah.
have the answers? He's just not giving it to us. This has the same problem as the worst of Lost, where it's
Mm.
just characters saying, "I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that." It's like, why? Why? Why not?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it just make it easier? And nothing happens to prove those characters right. Oh, he shouldn't have given them the information. Oh, he was right. He should have kept
Yeah.
it. There's absolutely no consequences for breaking any of those rules that these mysterious characters set out.
Hmm.
You know, and I'm like, that's the problem. It's like once you really start thinking about the plot and all the different like the logic of the movie, that's when it just completely starts unraveling, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it's like, again, I love the first two acts, but after watching act three, I'm like, well, so much of this doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
You know, I have like the big, broad questions of like, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I kind of don't care because seeing the two people talking in the silhouette in the dark and they're like, I don't know, sometimes hope is good. I'm just like, what is this? I'm like, I felt like this was a student film. The whole movie was solid. And then you get to this weird kind of student film, artsy, ambiguous ending, which I just don't think was played well at all. I'm
Mm.
like, this is the thing where like less is more. So I thought
Hmm.
it was cool how you do see the silhouettes, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But then like it's just the scene is not written well at all. It's like we all have bosses, and they answer to their bosses, and they to their. And I'm like, "Ugh. Did somebody write a second draft of this? Like, how did this get through? Like, I don't
Yeah.
compared to the rest of the movie. Like it's just the writing was just so terrible at that in that scene. I'm like, what is
It
happening?
it does kind of feel like maybe that was like the start point for the story, and
Right.
then he worked backwards to get there,
Yeah.
you know? And I, can't confirm that or not. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, and I'm
Hmm.
not going to refute anything you said though. I do think that it is like the biggest kind of thing that sticks out from the
Yeah.
movie, especially because like it's like the acting in that scene is fine from the other two performers. The Adam David Thompson he's the one who's selling it. Like you're
Yeah.
in like you're in it with him, and he's just
Hmm.
like confused and scared and angry and like not understanding, and like yeah, like I'm right there with him where it's just
Hmm.
like I think we're wasting time, like whatever, we need to do something, and we need to do something now. Like
Hmm.
that's where he's at, and that's where your audience is at too.
Yeah.
The another issue I had was how like a lot of like there's a lot of really cool moments and a lot of the mystery is like, oh wow, this is rad. But the second we start like delving into the mystery, we're kind of losing our pacing. Um,
Mm,
like like love the whole bit of talking into the recorder like the first time.
mhm.
Every time we have to talk to the recorder after, I feel like we like
It slows down a
it
lot.
yeah, it came
Yeah.
after the strangers started shooting up the place and
Hmm.
everybody was trying to like run around and get guns and stuff, and then we have to talk into the recorder again and it's like, okay, this is, yeah, we lost the tension there.
Just so much of it, because like having the like the villain, the mysterious stranger not being able to talk, and it's like that should have been a cool sequence, you know,
Hmm.
where Joe is the one having to talk to the recorder, and then it's like the people on the other end, they know he's with the stranger,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he doesn't know that, like that could have been a really great sequence, but it's just like
Hmm.
looking at my clock, I'm like, it's just not, I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is my same complaint I had with Parallels. In order for this plot to work, your characters have to have the intelligence of slasher movie characters. You know,
Yeah.
why did they put the freaking gun in the middle of a field with no cover?
Yeah.
They kind of get lucky that he has one like under the pews, but
Hmm.
still, like I mean, I guess you could they had their own rifles, you
Hmm.
know? So it's like they weren't totally unarmed. Uh, but even then, it's just like I don't.
Yeah, it's
It
this thing
doesn't
of
make sense.
it's it's this thing where it's like, oh, like we have to write these characters as real as possible. And so in a way, like you could almost justify it as like, well, some like real people would do this or something like that. But I like honestly, if you've ever shot a rifle, if you've ever owned a rifle, if you just know anything about hunting, I feel like the biggest thing the biggest thing is not to have your gun far away from you. You're not the Punisher is what I'm getting at. And
Yeah,
doing something like that, not in the church, because I feel like the church is a different thing. But just out in the field, buried under a rock, I'm like,
yeah.
that's
Where it can
that's
get
Punisher
wet
stuff.
for what,
Yeah,
like over a year? Like,
yeah.
it's just things like that. And like in other movies, I feel like these would just be nitpicks. But
Yeah.
in movies like this, where it's trying to be a very intelligent film,
Hmm.
you can't afford to have these little inconsistencies and these nitpicks,
Hmm.
because it just everything falls apart. Like it's kind of inferred that these two know what they're doing,
Hmm.
like they rob a bank or something like that, they
Yeah.
have all this money. I'm like, okay, they I'm assuming they're good with their rifles. They carry themselves like they
Hmm.
are until they can't freaking hit anything.
Yeah.
And then the guy's just blindly like shooting, and I'm like,
That pissed me off so much where it's like we spent all this time get and put ourselves in the line of fire to go get the gun that we stupidly buried out in the field,
and you just wasted
and
five
and
of
we
your shots.
5 of your 6 shots. I'm like, this that is the level of like slasher character. Like that
Yeah.
is, yeah, that's the level of stupid that I'm like,
And I'm like, dude, like
why?
I have no military like experience. I
Yeah.
have movie experience. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna go draw fire, I want the other person on my team with the gun, keeping their eye out to see if they can spot the shooter. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna put myself out there, it's gonna be as bait. It's not just gonna to be get shot for the hell of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, Sam will be upstairs looking for the shooter. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and also, I'm sorry, but that shooter got ridiculously close with that rifle. I'm like, dude, he's literally right there on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you could spit on him. That's how close he is. I was like, oh my God.
Like it reminded me of like whenever we would play, or like in the backyard or something, and like
Yeah.
I'm trying to sneak up on you, and you're just
Yeah.
like
It is
So I'm
very
like, oh,
clever that like the stranger was using that very skinny tree as cover. I don't know
mm-hmm.
how he accomplished that, but I'm like, okay, that's kind of creepy because you see from her POV, all you see is the tree and you don't see the stranger. I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, like, come on. Like, it felt like the stranger had more experience than these two, which it's like, oh, I don't know. This movie couldn't afford those little nitpicks.
Mm-hmm.
Everything needs to be tight. I want to know what the script writing process of this was because this wasn't coherence where they spent a year mapping everything out, and
Yeah.
in despite not having a script, they still came up with this perfect little movie, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And this certainly wasn't dark where they spent 10 years mapping out how the time travel works and how the characters interact with each other.
Yeah.
Because this movie, none of it makes sense. It's one of those ones where it's just like, it's time travel. It doesn't make sense. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So,
Yeah.
but by the point when you get to the ending, which is supposed to be this huge kind of twist moment, I've just kind of checked out by that point. Like, no, this is a movie where, like, in order to keep with it, I have to just say none of this makes sense, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So the ending, it was just like, okay.
It is I saw it described as like an esoteric looper
Oh,
where
oh, big Looper vibes,
yeah.
big time. I wish, but it wasn't as good as Looper, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
yeah.
I don't like I don't want to trash this movie because there's so much potential. But it's
Mm-hmm.
funny too that you're saying how much the actors were allowed to come up with their own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
um Not script wise but background wise, because the strongest part of this movie were the two leads.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe they were brother and sister. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely believed them when they were fighting. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love I dude, that whole sequence, man, where she's at the table drinking, she's like, if we're stuck here now, then you and I are far from done. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, total opposite from that earlier scene where
Mm-hmm.
like she's like, all's forgiven, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
that was such a good scene. And then went to her to flip it in the next scene. I'm like, dude, that is good. And then the opening, we take our time, we walk up to the house, we
Mm-hmm.
look around, we go room by room. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, man, this is really kind of giving me horror movie vibes. Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
house is a character. And then we kind of just lose that. But boom, once we go to the past, uh very slowly we inspect the house, we go room by room, and we see all the differences, and like it's not boring. Like I feel like, and this is what I meant by saying the execution of the direction was brilliant, because like
Mm-hmm.
this, I say, if an amateur director, but this was the guy's first movie,
Mm-hmm.
but if someone more amateur had tried to do this, it would have been very repetitive. It would have been really boring, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. Like I was just enthralled, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get those good scenes where they're just acting, and and the director just lets them do their things. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then the best part of the whole movie is where she's sitting on the porch and the camera starts panning and you see the field and it passes the pillar and it's summertime and all the corn is back, and it
Mm-hmm.
passes the next pillar and it's winter again, everything's snow, and then it turns back around on her, and there she is, just all bundled up, different jacket and all that stuff. I think maybe her hair was darker, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the montage of her working out and cooking. It was like day 200, 352. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I was like, that was so cool. The music was very subtle in this movie, but it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
The music of that scene was great. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this isn't something where if this was Parallels, I'm gonna trash it and just be like, it had these cool ideas, but this movie was just crazy, you know. But
Yeah.
this movie pisses me off almost more
Oh wow.
because you showed me how good you are, but you're giving me something subpar.
I can see
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like, oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. I think they should have again, I don't know what the process was, but I think this should have been scripted a lot. That process should have been longer because
Yeah.
this is one of those movies like if you like the Charlie Day meme, if you go
Yeah.
nuts with your note cards and try to like make a plot where like you have to put the pins to connect the dots and stuff, that's the type of movie this was,
Hmm.
but that's not the effect. That's not the result we got, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah. In a way, so I don't think this movie upsets me as much as it upsets you. It is the thing that like I think the more I think about it, there are things that like that.
Mhm.
Um I was I was and still am confused about how they even got to this house in the first place. Like I like it is one of those things where it's like this either feels like you you wrote something to either just get them to the start
Mhm.
or you know exactly what it is and you're purposefully obfuscating because of your prequel treatment, or
So,
something like that.
so yeah, I mean, like, it was the daughter. Is that what I'm meant to believe?
That's kind of what I thought too.
But she's supposed to be the dead body that they find because she has
Which,
the watch.
yeah, yeah.
But then the big twist when she comes in later, which I figured it out, but I'm like, no, it can't be the daughter because she's supposed to be. Or well, I don't know she's the daughter by that point, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it can't be that lady because she has the watch and then she has that scar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it can't be her because they found her body. So I'm like, okay, is it? I thought it was Sid. I'm like, is it Sid from the future or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Because what like once you got into like after the shootout and all that stuff, you can tell the stranger, uh, I guess was female or just a lot smaller than Joe.
Oh yeah, for
You know,
sure.
especially the way like I don't know what kind of jacket it is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like a big fluffy jacket. Like
Yeah,
it's not form fitting either. It's like in between. But I could tell I'm like that's either a woman or like a very like dainty man, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Like small
Just
dude.
the
Yeah.
body shape that you can tell. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, it's not Joe. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, it could be Sydney, but it could be someone else, but I'm pretty sure it's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And then the twist is we it comes off and she sees the scar. I'm like, oh, it's the lady, and then I'm like, is it the daughter? And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, she recognizes it's the daughter because the scar. I'm like, okay, so
Well, no, I don't think it's because of the scar. The scar,
well,
the scar is irrelevant. It's
well,
it's
I feel
just the
like for
fact
the
that like,
audience,
oh,
like they needed something. I don't know if this actress is actually scarred in real life. If
mm-hmm,
so, I apologize. But
mm-hmm,
I feel like this is one of those things like, oh, we needed to know, we needed people to be sure that it's the same person, you
mm,
know? And I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
So, but yeah, I'm like, okay, so they did kind of set it up that Joe doesn't even know his niece because he doesn't even know the age. So I'm
mm-hmm,
like, okay, it's believable that he doesn't know that's his niece when he's talking about her in the beginning.
yeah,
Then we find out like, oh, so it's the daughter, it's his niece at the end. But her whole thing is to find the man who killed my family. Okay, but you have been trying to kill your family for the last 20 minutes here.
yeah.
I'm
It's like, do
like,
you not remember what your mom looks like?
yeah.
Like, yeah, like I was confused. Like, which is my thing. I'm like, I think more than anything, uh, I think that entire like character and that entire section of the movie, I think I I would have just changed it completely, or rewritten it or taken it out or something. One, because it is the weaker part of the movie, um, but also because it's like this is kind of just the thing to get you to the end. You know, you need
Hmm.
something to happen to Sydney, you
Which is
know?
so bizarre because for a large portion of the movie, this was it. That's what I was talking about climax. Like
Yeah.
that the I don't know if you want to call them the antagonists, but for a big part of this movie, I'm thinking the stranger's the antagonist. We're
Yeah.
building up to this confrontation, and
Yeah.
then it happens, and it's kind of just they brush it aside. I'm like, oh,
I
okay.
I saw somewhere that somebody was saying like it's almost like this like all of like the crazier stuff and all of like the zany like world building and timey-wimey stuff. It's almost like all of that stuff needed to happen way earlier for them to
Hmm.
get to the ending that they wanted.
Hmm.
And in that way I can kind of agree like I almost kind of wish the movie started like at the workout, you know,
Mm.
and slowly we start to unravel like who these people are, why they're
Hmm.
here, what
Ooh.
here even is, you know.
Hmm.
um
This movie has a 2.9 on Letterboxd.
which is interesting, like I because honestly I've seen worse movies,
I
and
think that's
I've
a little low.
and I've given worse movies like a pass, you
Yeah.
know, or lesser movies a pass, because like yeah, I was also reading through some reviews and I'm like, man, like a lot of you guys are just mean and dumb, you know, but also like I'm more vibing with with your critiques of it, because
Hmm.
it's like you're upset that you were presented with something really good at the start, and then later on, you know, you kind of miffed it. So yeah, I can like
Yeah.
that I can totally understand.
I'm going to read you the comment here from Ty Squash,
Okay.
2.5 stars. My favorite thing to do when I get a revolver is to shoot 5 bullets immediately, so I'm forced to lock in.
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah. Like for me, I was thinking about it. Like if I were to rate this, uh, it doesn't go below 3 stars. Like it's easily a 3-star movie, but it would
Hmm.
have to really fight for the four,
Hmm.
just because as much as there's so many things that I really enjoyed about it in a movie this quote unquote intelligent, and when you're dealing with time travel, all
Hmm.
those little nitpicky details unravel it too much for my liking, you
Yeah,
know. And I
yeah.
think that's the thing. Maybe it's not. I shouldn't call them nitpicks, but it's the details. There are no details in this movie. All the details are lacking, you
Hmm.
know. And I feel like uh, uh who was it? Was it Christopher Lee who was talking about Lord of the Rings?
Hmm.
He's saying he was on set and he was admiring all the set dressing.
Oh
And
yeah,
then he
yeah.
walked around the pillar and he saw that the carvings were all the way in the back corner where the camera would never see. And that's how he
Hmm.
knew. He's like, they're passionate about this.
Hmm.
That's what this movie's lacking. I feel like as soon as you start dipping your toes into any details, it stops making sense. And like,
Hmm.
you can't have that with a time travel movie, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and especially too, because like I was saying, like I was already like I knew there was, you know, some kind of like weird time dilation in it. So I'm already looking
yeah,
for those clues.
yeah,
But then it sort of turns into like, well, the clues are irrelevant because we don't even really get into that until
yeah,
like the last 10,
yeah,
15 minutes. And then we're kind of robbed of it because that
yeah,
final scene takes place so far after everything that we've just seen that it's like,
yeah.
oh, okay. So like like let me be clear. I really enjoyed this movie.
Mhm.
And despite all of its flaws and all the things we've critiqued about it, like you know, just like describing it as like the esoteric looper, yeah, like it really is, because it's
Mhm.
like it kind of is just a vibe. You're here for the vibe.
Mhm.
And I that's one way to do a time loop movie, you know, that I
Mhm.
don't think I've seen before.
Mhm.
So I'll give you all the points for that. But yeah, like getting to that end, you know, it paints like the rest of the movie in a different light. Uh and and yeah, like I could, like me as the viewer, like I could make the leap. I can make
Hmm.
the leap in like, oh, okay, I guess I don't technically need to see him try all the different variations to try to save his sister.
Hmm.
Okay, I guess I don't need to see him like lose himself completely. Because if I'm
Yeah.
watching the movie, like I can kind of already tell like, hey man, like just out of the start, like Joe's done. Like he
Hmm.
wants to be done so bad with all of this. He's ready.
Hmm.
And then he gets robbed of that by being stuck in a time loop safe house.
Hmm.
And you know, like it's that shot. It's that shot where, you know, he's in the chapel. He's trying to get an answer from the tape recorder and there's nothing. What does he do? He picks up the revolver and he starts looking at it. And he puts
Hmm.
it to his head. And the thing that stops him from doing anything, going any further, is looking at at the tattoo that he and his sister have.
Yeah.
So like just going from that moment to the end, I'm like, oh, I get it.
Hmm.
I get it. Like you are a man who wants to do everything in order to protect your sister,
Hmm.
and it took however many versions of you it took to get to the point
Hmm.
where you pull the barrel of the gun up to your head and say, just do it because I'm
Yeah.
tired, you know?
That last scene is great. It's one of the
Yeah.
best scenes of this movie.
It
And the way it's
deserves a better
shot,
movie before, you know?
exactly. And the way it's shot
Yeah.
is so cool because you don't see how old he is until that one shot when you actually see it, the camera turns across the barrel of the gun. Because
Hmm.
she comes in, she's like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?"
You
And
can
his
even tell
voice
with her step,
is
like
so
as she's
deep, and
stepping.
I'm
Yeah.
like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
And because I think it was clever that he goes back in time and replaces himself. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That opens up
Very
a
grim.
whole new bag of time travel worms by killing yourself and
Hmm.
replacing yourself. Very, very less time travel and more parallels.
Mm.
But I'm like, okay, interesting. But then they don't really we don't get to see the cool version of that, you know.
Yeah.
But then you get that last shot where she enters the cafe and he has a different voice. I'm like, what the hell? You know, I'm like, holy crap, that last scene, I was like blown away, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. This is your movie.
Yeah.
This is your movie.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like maybe it should start at like the montage or like the workout scene.
Hmm.
Uh I don't know because I really liked the first half of the movie.
I mean, I do too. You know, that's
But
just kind of my thing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I this is totally unoriginal. We've seen it done over and over before,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
but I would have loved it if the twist was like, oh, Joe was in on it the whole time. Like the Joe we have
Mm.
for the whole movie has already done this before, you know?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Not unique or original by any means. It's basically just Groundhog's Day, but having it less from his perspective and from the sisters would have been a cool twist to it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Uh, and we still could have got like that end scene, you know? But it's just, again, I'm almost more mad that you teased us with this really cool story arc that Joe goes through, and then we just skip to the ending. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, all
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah. Cause that's the thing, you know, even,
this movie is the prequel to Joe's journey.
yeah.
Don't talk to me about prequels and sequels. You had it all there.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like,
I agree. It's the thing that I've said. It's like if you have ideas for a sequel, and if you want to like seed your movie with stuff to like keep going and like
mhm.
do the sequel, do the prequel, do the spinoff, whatever, your main story, this movie that you're working on right now has to be interesting and good enough to stand on its own because you're not guaranteed to get any of that.
Exactly. I refer to Christopher Nolan. He's like, if you have cool ideas for a sequel, use it in the movie you're working on. It's just
Yeah.
because we don't know if we're getting a sequel. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, brilliant. There you go.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
uh, Tom Holland was talking about the Odyssey, and he was saying how like just in awe he was of Matt Damon and Hathaway
mhm.
because they're doing these really deep emotional scenes, but they're shooting on IMAX. So those cameras can only run for 3 minutes at a time.
Oh, jeez.
So then they call cut, have to replay, take a couple minutes to redo put more film on, get ready, action, and then you can continue your scene. I was like,
Hmm.
dude, you know how wild that is? And he's like, so it took like a whole afternoon to do like this like 9 minute scene or whatever. I was
Hmm.
like, holy crap, that's
Jeez.
nuts. That's like
That's
an action
nuts.
sequence.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get it, you want to shoot it on IMAX, so that's your restraints, but credit to those actors, man.
Hmm.
Um, who they're able to do that. And I also Tom Holland was talking about he was on like the Amy Poehler podcast, and he was talking about how he loves acting because after they call cut, you're the one person on set who has nothing to do.
Mm.
He's like,
Yeah.
so he's like, I just get to watch everyone. I get to see what they're doing. I get to see like Matt Damon's acting process. I get to see the cameraman and see their process.
Hmm.
I just get to stand there. I'm the only one allowed on set who doesn't have anything to do. I'm like, that's a very unique way of interest of looking at it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's cool. So yeah.
Bringing it back to the movie, that's kind of what Adam and Riley were talking about uh when they shot. So they shot on location. They said they were initially supposed to film at like think like a like a family farm in Michael Felker's family.
Okay.
But like a month out, they realized that like the conditions just weren't going to be worth it, or wasn't going to be
Mm-hmm.
good. So they had to go scout for the location. They found a place that was essentially an old ghost town
Mm-hmm.
that this couple bought and renovated and turned into a wedding venue. So they
Oh,
said
interesting.
every scene, with the exception of the diner, is shot in and around that town.
That's cool.
So yeah, so the house is there, and they're like, yeah, like, and it was so intimate because like you see the size of the house, like it's not that big, especially when you have all of the crew inside the house and all occupying
Yeah.
different spaces. And so they said it was really interesting because once you cut, like nobody's going to their trailer. There is no trailer. It's like
Yeah.
they all cut, and we just get to kind of sit down and like watch the crew do all their stuff and like have everybody talking over us and around us. And it's
And
like, yeah, like that is a fascinating thing.
granted, this is a very indie film.
Yeah.
Their total profit was less than $4,000.
Man,
um,
that blows.
but
That
like I've
sucks.
got to, we've both got to work on indie films before, and like, how many film experiences do we have in a random house?
Dude, when we
So,
filmed
and
Lechusa, it was like
yeah,
that. Like that
dude,
house
there
is
you
set
go.
up to film. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm like, I've been to so many different locations, like filming with Stacey. We went to
yeah,
so like houses in King William that I would have
yeah.
never have gone into
Nice
any other
houses.
way. I'm like, these
Yeah, I
houses
can't
are
tell you how many
nice.
times they've called cut, and I get to just sit back on like some fancy couch in some house I've never been in and just kind of get to watch everyone work. That's I don't know, I guess one of the perks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but that's when you get to do that because you're right. That's before everyone has their trailers and they get to go separate themselves for a couple hours. It's like, no, you're in it. You're like in the arteries of the film.
Hmm.
Everyone's
Hmm.
running back and forth and whatever. It's either a chill day on set or it's like everyone's stressed the hell out. There's no in between
Yeah,
on
yeah,
indie films. I'm like, oh, I love it. I miss it. But yeah.
yeah.
I yeah, I don't know. The concept of a prequel or sequel, I have no interest of it because there's nothing in this movie. I feel like it would have to revolve around those two people. Like, what are they doing?
The vice
Who's
grip.
running
Yeah,
this? And I have
yeah.
zero interest. I'm like, I don't care about any of that. I'm just like, whatever.
It's interesting because like the second I saw them, I did start to get the idea of like, oh, this feels like one of those, what is it called, like SCP things. And that's like that's apparently like a huge thing. Like I don't, it stands for something, but like
It's
over
like
the last
a
over like the
genre or
like through the last decade, SCP has become like this internet thing of like, unexplainable phenomenon, or like, oh, there's this creature that is like that does this or that. It's like, oh, well, that's e- entity 215 or whatever in the SCP files or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Technically, like the back rooms you could theorize as like part
Yeah.
of SBC lore. Like, I don't know. Like, but the second those characters
It's just
came out,
Monsters Inc., dude.
yeah, it's like Monsters Inc. Men in Black, you know? Like,
Yeah, okay, okay.
yeah, like that was kind of
Yeah.
my
I had the
read on
vibes
it.
of you haven't watched it, but like Ink, that movie.
Okay.
And maybe even like a little bit of a like Terry Gilliam, like I was expecting someone to walk out with like huge goggles or something and like,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I thought we were going in that direction and it I don't know. It's maybe the writing was better, but I don't know.
Maybe like maybe if we did like a different version of the script, maybe if we had a like more of a budget, we could,
Yeah.
talk about that. Um, but yeah, that was my vibe of like, oh, there's always like a man behind the curtain, like just like they said, they have a boss who has a boss. I'm like, okay, so
Mhm.
there's a bureaucracy, it sounds like, and automatically I'm just kind of like, okay, like I feel like that's where your sequel or prequel would end up being.
Mhm.
I almost wish, I almost wish it wasn't like sci-fi. I
Mhm.
wish it was magic. Because when they
Mm.
go, when they're spinning the clocks, to do the thing, and then they enter
Mhm.
that space, there's something just like we've been saying this whole episode, there's something esoteric about it. There's something that is ethereal. This doesn't feel like a hard science.
Yeah.
This feels like magic,
It
you
feels like a
know?
ritual.
Yeah,
And
it
like I
feels like
had
a
that thought
ritual.
too. I'm like, is this a cult thing or like a witch thing? I'm
Yeah,
like, this is I clearly knew I'm like, this is time travel, but like
yeah.
because yeah, they have like their the numbers on the locks, and
Hmm.
then they have to change the clock, and then they even have to they say a phrase. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It's
I'm like, this
like
is kind of cool.
I almost wish everything took place in the house, or
Same.
like the immediate grounds, like
Yeah.
that line that they have of like blood around the thing.
Yeah.
Like I wish it was smaller. So it's like
Yeah.
there's nothing, like have the chapel in the basement. I don't know, like do something like
Spoiler alert for Dark. The very last scene
oh
where
yeah.
like all we see is they're in the dining room and
Hmm.
like you can't see out the windows or anything and there's like a crazy storm. Like,
Hmm.
dude, that would be really rad.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
they're all stuck in this house. Like it's some kind of in between place, you know?
Yeah.
Um, because also like I found it was interesting. I'm like, it's a choice that it's not just a big open field. You see places in the distance,
Hmm.
So I was just kind of thinking, like, okay, it's just the past, but now they're saying there's no one out there. I'm like,
Hmm.
wait, what?
Like
I'm
there's
like, is this the
yeah.
Langoliers? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not at any point in this movie did we mention like, oh, we're all alone. It's just kind of just us thinking we're alone on this farm or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, are people there? Is this the past? Is this some like little pocket of reality? Like,
That's kind of the vibe I got, especially because the last shot of the movie is the portrait from the beginning of the movie of the house, but with the silhouettes of potentially Joseph and Sydney there.
are they in the painting?
I don't know.
Ugh.
That does remind me there's a I believe it's a Shirley Jackson short story that is technically about that. It's like two women, they're best friends, and they're gonna leave town and they're gonna go, travel together.
Yeah.
And the night before, one of them disappears. They're like,
Mm,
where is she? We don't know. And all the cops think that she's dead or she's murdered or whatever. She ran off. And her best friend is like, no, I know her. She wouldn't do that. And then late at night, she starts looking at the portrait in her friend's room and she sees her in there. And then
mm,
she gets sucked into the portrait. And then it's just this whole thing where it's like her best friend's like ancestors,
Hmm.
are like the only people in the portrait, and they're just mad. They're crazy. They're making them do all this
Oh,
stuff. And it's like, well,
that sucks.
we have to get out, but is there a way out? We don't know. And then, yeah, it ends where it's like, well, well, maybe one day somebody will come and they'll free us. Like maybe we can get out of the portrait.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
I'm chopping up the story. I'm
Yeah.
doing a very terrible job, but like that was kind of a vibe that I got from that. I'm like, are they in the portrait? Is the portrait a pocket universe? Like, is
Hmm.
it like I don't know? And see, there too, I'm even like, is this scientific nonsense or is it magical nonsense? I
Hmm.
in this respect, I would kind of much prefer if it was magical, that there
Yeah,
was
I
the
would too.
esoteric nature of it, you know?
This is I don't know, that story kind of reminds me of Erie, Indiana. Remember that
Mm,
show?
yeah, yeah,
You never know what happens to those kids.
that's true.
You never knows what it's hard speaking with this new mic setup because like before I can hear myself.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm a very crisp audio. I feel like I can speak clearly. But
Hmm.
for whatever reason, like it's kind of hard to hear what I'm saying with this.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
like, and I've noticed it when I edit too. Like I'm kind of slurring my speech a bit,
yeah.
and it's
Mm.
like it's almost like I'm speaking too fast because I can't hear what I'm saying.
Whoa.
So let me
Trippy.
rephrase that. We'll never know what happened to those kids in Erie, Indiana.
Mm. Yep.
Poor guys. Um, so if you don't know what we're talking about, go look it up. They're probably part of the SCP.
I think it's on Tubi.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff on. I just found out Pluto TV. The 100 is on Pluto TV,
Ooh, nice.
but I own the Blu-rays, so physical media for life.
Hell yeah.
This has gone on far long enough. All in all, it was a movie that tried. I'd rather a movie take a swing and miss than
Hmm.
just not take a swing. And this movie definitely swung for the fences.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I enjoyed it. I love weird sci-fi. This definitely is weird sci-fi.
yeah.
Uh,
I agree.
it's a movie where, like I said, if you just say it's time travel doesn't make sense, I think you'll enjoy it. You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, how did the food get there? See that? That's one of those details. Like, like it's okay at first, but when they're there for a whole year, I'm like, okay, how does this work? Because you would think that they would put the food there before they got there, which
Mm.
means it would be sitting in the cabinet for over a year going rotten. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that's more like a teleportation thing. It just doesn't make sense. I think we'll just say it's magic.
yeah.
It's kind of like the Now You See Me movie with the magicians.
Hmm.
It's a lot more fun if you just assume they're wizards pretending to be magicians
Yeah, yeah,
because it doesn't make any sense. So,
yeah.
yeah. All right, Sam, let's get your D20 ready. I'm assuming we're going to be watching a movie next week.
Hmm.
We are having a guest come on soon. I don't know. I need to speak with them. I don't know
Oh
if that's
yeah.
next week or the week after. But the next movie we are watching is, we're going to find out right now.
All right, hang on, hang on. Cool.
So,
All right, let me see. That is a 14.
ooh, yeah. Okay. This one I am excited for. All right. This is one of the movies I saw a video on, like underrated movies from the last 5 years.
Uh-huh.
Not exactly sure what it's about,
Okay.
but it's animated
Okay.
and it's French. We're going to be watching 2024's directed by Jeremy Perrin. I hope I say that right.
Okay.
It's called Mars Express.
Oh my god. That's on my list.
That's on your list?
Of
Yes.
course it's on my list,
This
bro.
looks freaking incredible. Like I have no idea what this is, but I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, all right, I
It
gotta check it
it
out.
it had a theatrical release.
Yeah,
It and I missed it. And I'm very sad
it's
about that.
it's not anime, but it has
It has kind of like an anime vibe.
it has a kind of anime vibe, but
It
it's
look
French.
it looks
French
like
anime.
it looks like a grittier, lower tech sort of like Ghost in the Shell in a
Kind
way.
of, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
Um,
the art
yeah.
style too, it's also like I don't want to say more simple, but like it's a little more cartoony and a little less detailed than like
Mm-hmm.
Ghost in the Shell and like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
anime, you know?
It is, yeah,
So,
it is more minimalist. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
yeah.
Dang.
Um,
Okay, cool. Rad.
all right, dude, that's awesome. And just spoiler alert too, I'm actually finding a lot of anime that I'm putting
Oh.
onto my list. Yeah. Some anime, lots of Chinese cinema as well. I'm like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to be a very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many movies I have on here. I think I'm up to like close to like 50, maybe more.
Jeez.
We'll get there
Jeez.
eventually. So, all right, next week, Mars Express. I just so you are aware, you will probably have to rent this. I do not find it streaming anywhere, but you can rent it wherever you rent movies. It looks available.
Okay.
So,
Rad.
everyone, go check it out. Shoot us an email at lostlegaciespodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Let
Mm-hmm.
us know what you thought about Things Will Be Different. And yeah, let us know what you think about Mars Express. Um,
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you.
yeah. Also, if you have any movie recommendations, send them our way. There's a good
Mm-hmm.
chance we'll watch them before we get to a lot of more of our list. So,
That's very
uh,
true. That's very
yeah,
true.
like if you give us a recommendation that just looks like really cool, I'll probably throw it on like within a
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah. So everyone, until next time, hit us up hashtag Lost Legacies. We'll find it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah.
Yeah.
As always,
Get
get
lost.
lost.